Visualize perfection, freshly picked ingredients, tantalizing flavors, sweet and sour intertwine, and dance into your glass. One-of-a-kind arrangements, hitting every note. Why wait for the weekend? It's on at the grill.
It's the TikTok sale at Room to Room Furniture. This is your last day. The more you snooze, the more you lose. Wake up. It's the TikTok sale at Room to Room Furniture.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I am so glad you can join us on y'all's Friday evening, especially y'all's Halloween evening. So happy Halloween to everyone out there. We have an action-packed forecast, so let's get right into it. But right now, game of the week, closer to kickoff. Matt and Gabe are live out there in Eupora, ready to give us all the latest, especially those current conditions ongoing on the field as well. But we have a frighteningly good Halloween forecast tonight, so we are seeing cool conditions, dry conditions, but most importantly, beautiful conditions as we continue into the evening ahead. Beautiful weather for trick-or-treating all night long. But also moving and on into the rest of our weekend, we're going to have those kind of annoying off and on sprinkles tomorrow. Not really a widespread event coming on through, but that wraparound moisture that still gives us the opportunity for some rain showers for some, dry weather for some, and then later on the day, maybe y'all get those sprinkles, but then later on you'll see those drier conditions as well. Just going to be a little bit annoying. But let's look at the first 12 as we wrap up our Friday. We can see temperatures around 55 degrees by 7 o'clock, cooling off towards the mid-40s by 10 once we start wrapping up these football games. But we're going to start seeing low 40s and more cloud cover, and that cloud cover continuing to build up as we proceed into the evening hours. But right now, we are seeing beautiful conditions outdoors. Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubon out there in Eupora right now.
Yeah, we're out here in Eupora at our Mississippi Live Game of the Week. Eupora, East Webster, big Webster County battle going on here with implications on the playoffs, and we're just so excited to be here. By the way, the competition that's only Mississippi Live is, of course, for the band and cheerleaders of the week, and in particular, that Spirit Squad. I'm telling you, that is a very, very close vote at this point here, so there's still some ability to probably swing that during this broadcast there. As you can see, coming in 61 degrees. We'll go back a graphic there if we could. Caleb, to show off that temperature, coming in 61 right now. Feels like 61, but I'm telling you, if there's even a little bit of wind, it's going to feel cooler than that as we go through this evening. So you want to make sure you bundle up. As we talked about during 5 o'clock, if you're in those stands or a set of stands, you need something to insulate the back of you. I'm telling you, home team here is excited and ready to go as far as tonight is concerned. As you can see, Mississippi Live Weather Radar, we are clear, we are dry at this instant. But if we go high above the stadium here in Eupora, our Mississippi Live drone out and shooting down here. Hey, how you doing up there? Gabe with the live shot here at this point in time. And as he pans it out, it is a beautiful evening. Of course, both teams getting ready for this big matchup. He'll talk more about our Game of the Week stats and information coming up here in a couple of minutes. And as we look out and about, it is clear skies on this trick-or-treat evening. If you're planning on venturing out, not just here and everywhere, the fact that there is no blanket of cloud cover means you need an extra layer to insulate yourself, because you will be cold if you don't. Beautiful sunset there that live drone shot giving us here in Eupora at this time. Appreciate that one, Gabe. Okay, so Caleb, we will have the very latest at your complete Mississippi Live forecast here in a few minutes again, coming from our Game of the Week location. But I think the big headline tonight, you need the extra layer. I probably am a little cold like this. Naturally, Gabe Maynor wasn't wearing long pants, because why would he? You got to stay on brand there. You should do something different. But tomorrow you might need a rain jacket as you head to the Ole Miss game. Won't be a washout, but it's going to be damp. We'll have the latest on that SEC football forecast presented by Carl Hogan Toyota here in a few minutes. But from our Mississippi Live Game of the Week presented by Langston Lott and Casey Lott, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubon for Mississippi Live Weather.
Well, big thank you to our Chief Meteorologist for giving us those current conditions out there in the field. I know meteorologist Gabe Maynor, he left the studio earlier wearing those shorts, so we'll see how long he stays in them as we continue into the evening ahead. But taking a live look out here with Mississippi Live Weather Radar, I mean, we are seeing those clear conditions that drone picked up perfectly. Not much going on radar, and that is perfect for a Halloween forecast and definitely for the trick-or-treaters out there. Definitely don't want any cold or rainy, soggy conditions. But as we continue into the evening, we will get some more moisture in our atmosphere, but That's in cloud cover, that high pressure system moving on across, bringing in that cloud cover with it, seeing still mostly clear conditions by 10:30 when we're wrapping up those football games. But the further we push into those Saturday morning hours, that moisture keeps building on up, and then we can even see some light showers starting to get a head start and push into North Mississippi. But we're going to see a cloudy day, but also those annoying on and off sprinkles, that wraparound moisture, just continuing to affect us throughout the Saturday ahead. And we can see this with the next 24. We're starting off around 41 degrees by 6 o'clock in the morning, warming up to mid-40s by 9. But then there are those just spotty rain chances throughout the day, kind of increasing the further into the afternoon and evening you get. Those chance of rain showers just going to kind of persist. You can see temperatures around 63 degrees by 3 o'clock, kind of topping out in the low 60s. So still going to feel beautiful outdoors. Thankfully, not really having much of a wind because cloudy, gray, rainy, and windy, not a good combo. It gets very cold. I figured that out on my way to the 8 a.m.s earlier this week. But we're going to continue seeing beautiful conditions. Just got to get through those rain showers first before we can enjoy the beautiful conditions on the back half of the weekend as well. But coming up in the next 60, we have Will Colmar giving us those latest looks later on in the broadcast, but also our chief meteorologist is going to give us what the rest of the weekend looks like while still out there at your game of the week. All of that coming up in 1 minute.
This roof's getting installed with our premium roofing system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us at Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Taking a look at your high school forecast presented by Casey Lott. We're starting off pregame 60 degrees, already cooling off 10 degrees, 50 around halftime before we start seeing those mid-40s by the final snap. I was counting up those Band of the Week, Cheer Squad of the Week. I think Cheer was separated by only 12 votes. So you'll have till the end of the broadcast before we can release those winners by the time we make it to the 10 o'clock broadcast. But our chief meteorologist, Matt Laubon, and meteorologist Gabe Maynard are out there live enjoying these beautiful conditions.
Yeah, absolutely, Caleb. We are here in Euport for our Mississippi Live Game of the Week. As I try to, you see it might say behind me there on the sign, it says Eagles Descent. Trying to walk down steps and talk on TV. I've been able to do a lot of different things, but for whatever reason, that one was challenging for me. Anyway, the challenge is going to be for between East Webster and Euport, our Mississippi Live Game of the Week presented by Casey Lott. A lot of folks here in the stands ready to go. You'll notice most of them are bundled up, which is the smart decision. It is senior night here as well, and everyone is getting very excited. A lot on the line for this game. And we'll talk to our meteorologist, Gabe Maynard, come up here in a minute. He's right there with the drone, but we'll talk to him here in a minute as we get through your whole forecast. But speaking to that point here, let's go ahead. Hey, y'all, it's close. It's only 12 votes. You got to get people out there. Make sure you're still voting, okay? Okay, it's right there, neck and neck. So got to make sure you get that taken care of before it's all said and done. So good luck. Got the cheerleaders behind me. Again, they've been working to try to make sure the vote goes their direction on that. And, of course, we'll have our band and cheer squads of the week coming up at 10 o'clock. But Mississippi Live Weather Radar, nothing over top of us here in Euport. Wider shot shows that that's a common factor across most of the region, but we do anticipate that we're going to have a lot of us with rain for tomorrow. It's not going to be a nonstop rainfall, but there are going to be some issues there that come along with that. At this time, coming in 61 degrees in Tupelo right now. It's 57 in Amory. Here in Euport, 61. Doesn't feel like 61. Can't see my breath, so maybe I'm just still in tropical mode from where we were last week down there in Australia. But there's no moisture of significance out there. We're back to 55 for 7 p.m. As we progress into the night, you'll notice those arrows remain small. So we're not going to talk a lot of wind chill here, but 46, that temperature by 10 p.m. as we should be again in the dry. But note those clouds starting to come in. That's the first sign of some moisture. Moisture will lead showers that'll be nuisance quality showers as we progress into and through your Saturday. But we'll start the day a little cool, about 40 degrees, maybe some upper 30s out there, some spots. Looking at low temperatures, I think the fact that we have that cloud cover is the thing that keeps those lows from dropping a little farther. We'll go 44 out there for Senatobia, come about 40 degrees Amory, as well as Starkville, about 40, 38 Hamilton, Alabama, 39 degrees Red Bay, and 39 there in Vernon. Okay, so as we go through the day, rain chances remain light. Now, you'll notice there's a decent number of those showing up here. Just some spotty ones near Tennessee State Line, 10:30 in the morning. But by midday, starting to show up toward Belzona, back toward Greenville there. 60, the temperature may not ever quite feel that warm, by the way. On some light southerly winds, the moisture has gone to the increase just a little bit there. And it's fairly widespread, as you can see, by 3 to 4 o'clock. And that is going to largely end up being, I got to move out of the way. I'm in the way of the band. Hold on. I think I'm out of the way now. But rainfall might get in your way if you're going to the Ole Miss game. That SEC football forecast, again, presented by the good folks there at Carl Hogan Toyota. We'll look at in a second. But high temperatures for tomorrow. Low 60s, still well below where we should be for this time of the year. But because it's so cloudy, it will not feel particularly warm for this last day before we end up going to daylight saving time. So as you can see here, first play of that Mississippi State game, again, mainly dry, maybe not 100% dry, but mainly dry out there in Arkansas. And again, 55 first play, 52 by halftime, and 46 by the conclusion of that game. Ole Miss, we do know we're going to have some rainfall issues to go along with this there. We're looking at about 58, again, the first play on that one, 50 by halftime, and then 47 at the end. But you factor in the fact that it will be drizzly, and that will make it just a little bit cool as we go through the game. So, yeah, expecting it to be football weather. I don't know. I like the clear and dry we have tonight for football weather. But anyway, there will be some showers. Not expecting a lot of meaningful moisture out of this, even though we're still working on drought conditions. We expect it'll probably be lighter amounts, maybe 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch would be, very tip top. But honestly, I think 1/10 of an inch is much more like it. And then that last little bit coming through. But really more than anything else, just kind of drizzle. Have we addressed that? Yeah, cool to start your Sunday. And yeah, we do have to fall back with those clocks Saturday night and the early Sunday morning. Just remember that for your church. As we go through the day, though, showers, they should eventually move out for the most part. I think a few little sprinkles still kind of lingering back behind this. This is our strike model here. Again, showing a few of those sprinkles as we progress into the afternoon and eventually into the evening on your Sunday. But starting to clear out, and that will lead to cooler temperatures, even cooler temperatures by the first part of next week. So 57, that's the high temperature on your Sunday in Water Valley. 60 Greenwood will be about 59 Amory. Houston, about 59. It'll be 56 New Albany, about 55 up there for Corinth and Iuka, as certainly well below the upper 60s we expect for this time of year. So rain coverage, we're saying about 20%. Here's the deal. While we have some rainfall there on your Saturday, the big deal with this is it's mainly drizzle. It's mainly nuisance quality rainfall as opposed to really adding up to something. So it's just going to kind of make it feel a lot cooler. And I think that 61 ends up feeling there. As we progress throughout your Saturday night and into Sunday, again, we change those clocks back for your Sunday morning. So, Saturday night before you go to bed, if you don't want to have issues with church on Sunday morning, you need to change those there. As we look ahead on that 7-day forecast, you'll see that by Monday, we're probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of the lower 40s for lows in the morning. But notice those low temperatures by a Monday are going to be about 37, 39 as we look toward Tuesday of next week. And then 43 as we go toward Wednesday and Thursday under what should be, again, temperatures closer and a little bit above normal for this time of year by the middle part of next week with more substantial rain chances by late in the week. But of course, the rainfall for tomorrow going to impact, I think, some of those college games. We'll talk more about those college football forecasts, your SEC football forecast presented by the good folks there at Carl Hogan Toyota in a minute. But for our game of the week here, I do want to bring in our meteorologist, Gabe Maynor, once again here for a second. Of course, game of the week, big one here in Eupora. What do you got going on? Oh, hold on. I got my earpieces in. I was doing that because the band is very loud. So hold it over. Give me a second. 3, 2, 1. I saw it jump, and now we're good.
Wait, okay, so big time matchup today, but it is an even matchup if we consider the all-time records. Eupora has won 11 in the series, East Webster winning 12. And that latest matchup was East Webster taking home the victory against Eupora last year pretty handily, 35-6. So when we're talking about a matchup today, both teams have a great record, but East Webster still heavily favored because of that division record, and they're 3-0. Eupora, 0-3.
You know, the thing is a lot of folks talking to them around the stands here, especially on the home team side, concerned about the game, but it is rivalry. This is, the cross-county rivalry, and you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes there's a little extra emotion in that, even if you can be the one to play spoiler. And that's always sometimes fun, right?
Exactly. It's going to be that, you're taking home bragging rights, not just for today, but for the rest of the season. That one matchup each year happening right now. And
the team ran in. I was gonna flip it around so you can see the team ran in.
They're pumped about it. So you can see the energy definitely in the air. Fans enjoying it as well. It is senior night here in Eupora. So what more magical night do you need? And it's great weather, clear skies. Really perfect.
I know, despite the fact that somebody, one of these days, he will learn. Anyway, Gabe will have your highlights from this game coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll also, by the end of this broadcast, that's when Band and Cheerleaders of the Week become finalized.
Go vote.
Go vote right now. The time is almost up and is so close, especially on that Spirit Squad of the Week. But from here in Eupora at our Mississippi Live Game of the Week presented by Casey Law, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Walpon.
I'm Meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
For Mississippi Live Weather. Back to you in the studio, Caleb.
Well, I hope someone can put a clip of Gabe shivering in the highlight reel. He's still wearing those shorts. We keep getting onto him every week, but eventually one day he's going to learn. But you can see here with our Maven cam, temperatures already down to 57 degrees. If you were here during the 5 o'clock, that sun was starting to set, getting a little bit darker outside, which means those temperatures are going to continue to decrease the further into the evening we get. So going to get a little bit cooler and chillier as we proceed into the evening. But don't leave just yet. After the break, we have our Will Kohlmeyer giving you the latest on those college game day, pretty much updates, stats, everything you need to know. I'll cover the forecast, all of that coming up in 1 minute.
When you've been injured, don't settle for a lawyer who doesn't even know where you live. Call Langston and Lott. Local lawyers, personal service, real results.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's scary that it can be put into anything. We can't even see it or notice it.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Welcome back to Kohlmeyer's Corner. At 5 o'clock, of course, we talked high school football. Now it's time to concentrate on some college football. And we've got both State and Ole Miss in action this weekend. Gosh, I thought I was going to have two upsets last weekend, right? With Ole Miss knocking off Oklahoma. They were the underdog in Norman. That one worked out well. And I thought for sure my State upset prediction over Texas was looking sweet, right? In the fourth quarter, up by that amount, 3 scores, but then Texas scores the final 24 points, and so that messed up that upset. But 21-3 on the year coming into this weekend for Will's winners. And let's start with that matchup up in Fayetteville between the Dogs and the Hogs. Offensive line is going to be a key again for Mississippi State if they can protect Chapin. Also, it would be nice if Fluff Bothwell could be back in the lineup for Mississippi State to help Booth shoulder that running responsibilities. Also, one of the keys this year for State, and it could be a big one tomorrow afternoon, is turnover margin. And Mississippi State's defense doing a lot better than they did a year ago. Last year, all season long, they created 12 turnovers. Well, this year so far, 14 turnovers, and those 14 takeaways tied for number 16 in the country, and they're tied for first in the SEC with that number of 14 takeaways. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to go out on that branch again and pick in Mississippi State. I know it's not the strongest branch in the world, but remember, the last time that they won an SEC game, it was in Fayetteville a couple years ago. Since then, they've lost 16 straight. I'm thinking lightning's going to strike tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening for Mississippi State. They'll snap that streak and get that first SEC win. Now, speaking of tomorrow night on ESPN in Oxford, big matchup between the 7th-ranked Rebels and the Gamecocks from South Carolina. Ole Miss, of course, coming off that huge win last weekend in Norman, while South Carolina, they had Bama beat, right? And Crimson Tide very fortunate to leave Columbia, South Carolina with that win. Some key factors for Ole Miss in my book: avoiding the turnovers and coming out focused and staying focused throughout the entire game. I'm thinking South Carolina's only path to a victory is if Ole Miss makes mistakes. They're going to make some mistakes, obviously, but it's going to require them to make a lot of mistakes. And of course, I know Halloween tonight, and there's going to be some that will dress up as Superman. If Lenora Sellers has a cape on tomorrow night for South Carolina, the quarterback, he can create some problems for Ole Miss as well. But I like the Rebels pulling this one off at home and continuing their magical run, trying to get into that college football playoff. Of course, Alabama, coming off that win against South Carolina, they're off this weekend, as is Southern Miss. Boy, what a year Coach Huff and the Golden Eagles are having. Starting this weekend, tied for first in the Sun Belt West, a major turnaround down in Hattiesburg, but they're off this weekend as well. And I know we'll have the forecast, though, coming up for the games in Fayetteville and in Oxford. But for now, that'll do it for Will's Winners. Have a great Halloween evening tonight and a great weekend. Caleb, we'll send it back to you.
Well, big thanks to our Will Kohlmeyer for giving us that inside look to these matchups. I'll cover the weather portion. Looking out here in Oxford right now, maybe a soggy forecast for tomorrow. 20% by the start of the game. Temperatures around 58 degrees, but cooling on off as you proceed further and further into the game. Halftime, seeing temperatures around 50 degrees. Those rain chances up to 30, still lingering by 30% by the final snap. Still, those temperatures around 47. So the off chance you get those temperatures cooling off, that rain on you, feeling a little bit cooler outside, so make sure to bundle up, have those ponchos or rain jackets ready as you are in that stadium. Should be a good matchup facing the Gamecocks out there in Oxford. But here we go, big one, Mississippi State facing Arkansas and Fayetteville. Much better conditions, around temperatures 55 degrees, mostly clear conditions, and that's going to stay consistent pretty much all night long. Seeing temperatures dip towards 52 by halftime and then 46 by the time you are walking out of the stadium that evening. So hopefully the Bulldogs can get a win. And of course, hopefully for my grandma as well. She is having a little surprise birthday party tonight. So wanted to just reach out and say happy birthday. I know my uncle and aunt came into town to visit her and surprise her. So I hope y'all are having a great time. Happy birthday to you, Grandma. Love you. I hope y'all are having a great evening down there in Star for right now. Maybe the Bulldogs can get a win for tomorrow. But here is the QR code for both the iOS and Android app. We appreciate all the support you've given us and let you know basically what the forecast looks like, especially for evenings like this. Trick-or-treating, got to know, is it going to rain? How cool is it going to be? Plan your costume accordingly. That app's got everything you need before you go out trick-or-treating, and especially into your Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays as well. But speaking of these broadcasts, we have a big one coming up, 10 o'clock broadcast. We're going to reveal the band and cheer squad of the week. Y'all have a few more seconds of me yapping so y'all can get those last-minute votes in. I know the spirit squad of the week was separated by 12 votes. So we're going to tally those up by the time we wrap this up. Make sure to have those highlights ready. Meteorologist Gabe Maynor already going to be hard at work getting all of those in for the 10 o'clock broadcast. So y'all have a great Friday evening. Have a great Halloween evening. I am so excited to come back and talk to y'all during the 10 o'clock broadcast as well. So y'all go out, enjoy the rest of y'all's Halloween evening, and I'll see y'all at 10.
I don't remember how it started. Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.